planning. That she couldn't trust him, the town's resident reckless playboy, the renegade everyone said was no good, with her future. He tried to fight for her, tried to convince her that their fairy tale wasn't ending, it was just beginning. That he couldn't bear knowing that she believed the same lies and whispers everyone else did. The protests fell on deaf ears as she collected her suitcase and left him behind. She didn't tell anyone what happened that night. Ashamed of the truth, she only said, "We broke up," before locking herself in her room and refusing to talk to or see anyone. But by the time she resurfaced weeks later, that one little sentence, "We broke up," had grown into its own mythology. We've all been right about him, you know. He left her and broke her heart, shattered her entire life. He really was the cold, heartless troublemaker we all thought he was. Poor May. Poor thing. May didn't correct the rumors. Chapter 1. May. As Amelia May Anderson awkwardly slunk into the downward dog pose, she couldn't help but wonder how she'd gotten here, willingly doing yoga on the back porch of her ex-boyfriend's ex-fiancé's house. Well, willingly might have been a stretch, and, to be fair, she knew exactly how she got here, at least literally. One minute, she was having a very nice, very boozy lunch with her sisters and their friend, Annie Martin, the ex-boyfriend's ex-fiancée in question, washing down hash browns and fried sugar dough balls with long sips of mostly champagne mimosas, when Annie said, "Hey, we should all totally do yoga together." May was a nice enough person, and even though she had absolutely no intention of ever actually doing the yoga, she enthusiastically agreed that yes, at some point in the future, they should absolutely do yoga together. But she thought it was like when you saw an old friend from high school and promised to meet for coffee to catch up, where both of you fully knew you'd never actually do that. After all, May wasn't exactly the yoga type, and Annie knew it. The most exercise she liked to do was walking from her shop on the square down to the coffee shop, then back with an iced coffee in one hand and a cinnamon bun in the other. At the very least, she hoped Annie would just forget about it. Unfortunately, May kind of forgot that her new friend didn't do anything by halves, and she could occasionally be a bit oblivious to even the most direct of social cues. Or maybe Annie just liked to feign obliviousness, using that ditzy, wide-eyed exterior as a way to get people to do exactly what she wanted them to. Whatever the truth may have been, May somehow ended up here, stretching her muscles to the point of exhaustion, while supposedly soothing instructions from a nearby laptop talked them through the paces of a sun salutation. Her sisters had somehow managed to weasel their way out of this morning's sunrise session, leaving May and Annie totally alone out here on the fog-wrapped porch. For a few years now, May had run a small gifts and sundries shop on the main square of Hillsboro, a store she stocked with plenty of kitschy goods and even homemade treats and candles made from the products of the bees she cultivated at home. The shop wouldn't open for another few hours yet. Sunrise yoga was positively perfect for working women, according to Annie. But in this moment, she wished she'd suddenly changed her shop to a 24-hour schedule. When she thought too hard about it, the entire thing radiated with weirdness. It didn't feel weird, but she recognized it probably should have been. After all, her host and friend was briefly engaged to her ex-boyfriend, and Annie's older brother was currently dating May's older sister, Harper. Their being friends should have been 50 shades of weird, but instead, it was kinda nice. When they'd first met, May had hated her. It had surprised her, the intensity of it. But it had felt like the pretty girl from out of town was stealing everything, the man she'd once loved and the friendship of her sister. Then, Once all